Italian Trade Agency, in collaboration with Invitalia, promotes the excellence of the Italian regional offer in the field of manufacturing at the World Manufacturing Week. We have today 13 Italian regions. Representative of these 13 regions, they will participate here to the panel by illustrating the peculiarities of their territories and the attractivities of local opportunities. But first, we have a representative from Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Consul General Massimiliano Iacchini. Mr. Iacchini is head of the Office Foreign Investments to Italy, General Directorate for Country Promotion, Foreign Investments, Committee and Governance. Mr. Iacchini.
Hello, good morning everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, very good. First of all, I'm really pleased to virtually meeting all of you at this side event at the World Manufacturing Forum 2020, which has been organized and sponsored by the Italian Trade and Investment Agency, together with Invitalia and 13 Italian regions within the projects and initiatives of Invest in Italy team. As you know, Italy is a manufacturing power in the world. We are the second largest manufacturing economy in Europe and the fifth manufacturing economy in the world. So this meeting is very important to promote the FDI opportunities of our country. Let me thank all the organizers of the World Manufacturing Forum. Unfortunately, this year we have to meet virtually due to the pandemic. Last year it was a great event together in Chernobyl. I still remember it. And I would like to especially thank Mr. Roberto Ribolla, President of the Foundation, and all the staff of the World Manufacturing Forum. Last year's event involved more than 80 foreign investors from all over the world, and our companies, our regions had the opportunity to present their opportunities through more than 100 contacts and more than 200 B2B meetings. As I understand, this year forum is focusing on artificial intelligence for the manufacturing renaissance and the impact of artificial intelligence on the manufacturing sectors, which is a strategic sector where we can, of course, put our attention, and the Italian government is considering this sector very, very important for the growth of our economy. I would like to give you a brief outlines of the strong points of our country, as they are outlined in Global Attractiveness Index 2020, which is an index prepared and published by the Ambrosetti European House, which is one of the most prestigious think tank and agency for ranking in Europe and internationally. And it's based on hard data. So we can consider this data very important. So Italy is the first European country for a number of manufacturing SMEs. Moreover, is one of the five countries in the world with a manufacturing surplus of more than $100 billion. Is the second in Europe and fourth in the world in terms of added value in the manufacturing sector. It is also ranked first in the world for luxury and for the manufacturing of wearing apparel, footwear and textile, second in transport, electronics and manufacturing production. So these are very important elements for our audience. I would like to give you a brief presentation about the FDI governance systems in Italy, so that you understand how our government and the Italian system can support foreign investors interested in operating in Italy in the manufacturing sector. As Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, together with the Italian Trade and Investment Agency, we are managing a network of more than 120 embassies abroad together with more than 90 offices of the Italian Trade and Investment Agencies. And within the Italian Trade and Investment Agency, we have more than 20 desks and units operating especially to attract foreign investors. And in this year, during the pandemic, we have made we have thought that our network should be strengthened, and we are now opening more desks and more offices for FDI promotion and attraction around the world in key international markets. This is very important, and this will go together with a very wide campaign, a communication campaign to promote the assets and the strong factors that are characterizing the Italian economy, which is in a nutshell the quality of the workforce, which is recognized by many investors around the world, the quality of the sector of innovation and research centers, the quality of our industry. So these are all elements that we consider very, very useful and strategic for prospective investors to consider Italy as the land for their investment. I can add that for very significant and strategic investments from a foreign country in our regions, in our country, we have an interministerial committee which is composed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs together with the Ministry of Economic Development, the two investment promotion agencies of our country, which is the Italian Trade Agency and Invitalia, that together represent the Invest in Italy team that supports foreign investors. And through this committee, we are doing two main tasks. One mission is to support high-valued foreign investments in our country, so to accompany them and support them in their settling in our country. And the second purpose and mission is to promote a review of the regulatory and legislative framework in order to build a better business environment for domestic investors, of course, but also for foreign investors. So this is basically the framework of our FDI governance. We are committed to promote investments. So together with our agencies, the Italian Trade Agency, Invitalia, and together with the regions. So the presence of 13 regions today is very, very important and significant. So I would like to thank everybody for their commitment, for their competence, and for their work. And let's not give up. So I wish you all fruitful meetings during the course of the forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Iacchini. Thank you for your contribution. Our next speaker today from Italian Trade Agency, Mr. Stefano Nigro, and he is the Director of Foreign Direct Investments. Mr. Nigro? Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Please.
Perfect. Thank you. I would like to thank, first of all, Mr. Ribolla and the World Manufacturing Forum to host us for the third consecutive year to this event. I would like to thank and my team in Rome. I would like to thank all the international people that are following this web seminar. If I can show my slide in my presentation, I will I will try to underline very few points about why invest in Italy and what is the support that we can provide as the Italian ecosystem to those of you are interested to invest in Italy. Next, please. Italy has many excellence in different industrial fields. Many of them are known by everybody. I mean, I don't need to talk about like science or physical or luxury. but maybe not all of you know that we are on the top for research and development in aerospace and defense. We are strong in chemicals. We are a producer in Europe pharma industry and other sector in which we are strong and we attract national and multinational champions. Next, please. The reasons are different, and but most of them are well known by the investor, international investor, that for the third year are positioning our country as one of the top 10 most attractive country according to the Iacchini FDI Confidence Index. Next, please. We did a huge job as government, as for regulation in order to facilitate Italy as a digital location. And the Digital Tax Index 2018 showed that we are one of the top countries in the world. They say the first in the world for digital location tax. Next, please. And even if the main reason why investors are investing in Italy is because of our know-how, comparing to other European countries with the same quality of human resource, our costs are lower, our labor costs are lower. And even more if you invest in the south part of Italy. Next, please. Even the corporate income tax, is in at least the European one. Next. And we have a lot of opportunities in different fields. Today, we're gonna listen some of them proposed by our regional governments, but we, together with Invitalia, have opportunity in greenfield and brownfield area. We have opportunity in cluster and apps. We can show you incentives available in different parts of Italy. And last but not least, we support your investment with services free of charge. Next, please. Next two. Okay. Next one. As Mr. Iacchini said before, we support the investor through all the process of investment, thanks to the joint venture between Italian Trade Agency and Invitalia, but also the relation with the regional governments, that are, some of them are today with us, and the strong relation with the ministries. The Ministry of Economic Development, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Economy, and the Ministry and the other ministries that are parts of a special committee to support the foreign investors that are deciding to invest in our country. As Italian Trade Agency, next please, we have a broader network in 78 countries in the world, but in some of them we have personnel fully dedicated to support foreign investors. So we customer care of the clients, of the investor at the very beginning with our network abroad. Then together with Invitalia, we follow the investor through all the process and also in the after case phase. So please, next please. For any evidence, you can contact our office in your country, or you can contact my office in Rome. We are fully available to provide all the information to facilitate your investment. I don't want to lose much more time. I think that the speaker we follow will provide more insight about the opportunity that we can provide as a country. I would like to thank you, all of you, for your support, and I hope to see you soon to invest in Italy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nigro, for being with us. Your explanation, your presentation was very clear. Thank you for your contribute. Next speaker is from Invitalia, Mr. Marco D'Acunto. He is Senior Project Manager in HiTech sector. Mr. D'Acunto, to you. I think there is a technical problem with the audio.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Please.
Can you hear me?
Welcome.
Sorry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. I'm Marco D'Acunto. I'm part of the Invest in Italy team and I work for Invitalia. Today, I'd like to give you an overview of services and incentives available in Italy that we can provide for foreign investors. Next slide, please. Next slide, thank you. So on this chart, no, the previous one, sorry. So you can see the chart of our services. They are free of charge, and we provide assistance throughout the entire investment process. They include location scouting and site visits, financial and incentives advisory, support for obtaining permits and authorizations, assistance for HR recruitment, and generally speaking, we facilitate relation with the public authorities, and we create valuable connection and liaison with Italian stakeholders. Next slide, please. So, as for incentives, here there are the main incentives available at the moment in Italy. The first group refers to schemes dedicated to large industrial investments. The second include fiscal benefits. The third group refers to R&D activities. And the fourth is dedicated to innovative startups and innovative SMEs. Next slide. So I would like to make a brief insight on development contract that is the largest incentive scheme available in Italy and is managed directly by Invitalia. The development contract requires investments of minimum 20 million euros, and this threshold is equal to 7.5 million euros when we refer to agriculture product processing. Beneficiaries are one single company or also a group of companies implementing different investment projects that have to be connected and interfunctional among them. Development contract is an upon request scheme. That means it is always available. The eligibility evaluation is carried out by Invitalia within 120 days, and the project can start immediately after the application and has to be implemented in 3 years. Next slide. So, as for aids, they are both grants and soft loans, and they depend on 2 key factors: geographical position, so where the investments is implemented, is set up, and the company size. So the mix of these 2 factors generate different aid intensity that you can see in the chart. Please note that for large company in several locations of central and northern Italy, they can't receive support for manufacturing activity. But R&D activities can be supported everywhere in all the Italian territory for every size of company. Next slide, please. So let me spend a few words about research and development investment program. As we said, there are no differences and no restrictions based on geographical aspects, but it's important to underline a basic requirement that development contract can support an investment dedicated exclusively to R&D activities. So R&D activities must be connected to an industrial development program. Next slide. This is just an simplification showing how much, in terms of grants, a company investing 20 million euros in terms of eligible expenditures can receive. For instance, a medium company can receive 7 million euros of grant in south of Italy and 4 million euros in selected locations of central northern Italy. Next slide. Okay, in the last slide, you can see several important results of the development contract, showing that it has been working very well over the last few years. Overall investments of over 6 billion euros, many financed projects, including many multinationals, foreign companies, as Sanofi, Avio Aero, Nestlé, Hitachi, just to name a few. Next slide. So my time is over. Thank you very much for your attention. Of course, you can write me for further information. I will be very glad to answer to your questions. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. D'Acunto. After the governmental representatives of institutions, let's go now to hear the regions of the opportunities in the different regions in Italy. We have totally 13 region representatives. Each will have 5 minutes for speaking and explain us why people have to invest in their territory. Welcome everyone, benvenuti tutti i rappresentanti delle regioni. Ciascuna avrà 5 minuti a disposizione, abbiamo poco tempo per dare l'opportunità di parlare a tutti voi e spiegare le ragioni per gli investimenti. Per favore cercate di rispettare timetable. Please, we have very strict timetable. I would like to give opportunity to speak every one of you. Please respect 5 minutes of your time. Thank you very much. And let's start with Tuscany region. We have here Mr. Marco Perrone for us. He is from Inward Investment Manager, HiTech. Benvenuto, signor Perrone. La parola a lei per spiegare.
Grazie a voi, good afternoon everybody, and thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity to present Tuscany. Let me bring greetings from our Executive Director, Mr. Filippo Giabbani, who I can guarantee is healthy and fine, but he was not able to attend to this meeting today due to some technical issues. I've got a little set of slides, if you can show it. I don't know if you can show the slides. Anyway, I can go through my presentation anyway.
Maybe you can continue to your presentation and slides are coming.
Okay, fine.
Yes, it's here.
Next one, please. So, with 3.7 million inhabitants, Tuscany is considered a medium-sized region at the European level. Nevertheless, the region relies on a strong and wide manufacturing system, counting more than 500 multinationals with operations and R&D units installed in Tuscany since many years. The region is the ideal location for the manufacturing sector. As you can see in the slide, Tuscany hosted 80 new plants and more than 500 million euros of total investments in the last 5 years. The most significant sectors are automation and precision mechanics, luxury fashion and textile, pharma and biotech, biorobotics, and optics and photonics. Next one, please. Regarding the business environment, Tuscany has got one of the most stable political systems, together with the openness to foreign companies' investments and related supporting policies for the development of any kind of business plan. Our local government constantly collaborates with the national level, so that's to say ITA and Invitalia in particular, on the available incentive schemes, some of which are dedicated also to large companies. Invest in Tuscany's network can then support investors on the bureaucratic procedures, sometimes not easy to approach also by an Italian company. Tuscany itself, it's a very well-renowned brand all around the world in terms of high quality of life and an unparalleled cultural offer to its citizens and tourists. Moreover, the consolidated tradition in the scientific and innovation field is supported by a constellation of tech transfer centers to continuously connect enterprises with applied research. Next one, please. The region is conveniently located in the central part of Italy and fully connected with Milan and Rome, respectively, being the financial and political capital cities of Italy, by high-speed trains. The major highway of Italy, 2 international airports, and 1 main commercial port and 3 freight hubs complete the transport and logistic infrastructures of Tuscany. Next one, please. And this is the last one, and invest in Tuscany as a local government one-stop shop for potential investors willing to start and develop their businesses in Tuscany. We accompany investors with free services and confidentially during all the phases of the setup process. Please feel free to connect with us, and thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Dr. Perrone. Now we go to northern Italy, to region of Valle d'Aosta. There, waiting for us, Mr. Roberto Di Bernardo. He is Research and Development Laboratory Engineering. Mr. Di Bernardo.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It's a real pleasure being here and also an honor to represent the Regione Valle d'Aosta in this nice event. Please, next slide. So, going directly to the key fact concerning investment opportunity in the region, I would just give you some number in terms of company at the moment working in the region that are around 900. Please, next slide. Around now 900. Focusing on several sectors, from metallurgical sector to component for electric vehicles to sensor and also technology, IT technology. The region can offer several facilities to the private sector, in particular thinking of technology parks. We have S.p.A Aosta and Il Saviola in Pont San Martin, and also industrial area like Châtillon and Verres that can count around 32,000 square meters. The region has a specific smart specialization strategy focusing on excellence mountain, intelligent mountain, and sustainable mountains. And is also in the region, there is also, of course, the headquarters of the local University of Valle d'Aosta. There is a seat of Politecnico di Torino, as well as other research centers like the Astronomical Observatory and the Institute of Agriculture and the Italian Institute of Technology. Please, next. Here, just a list of among the most important private entity involved in that have some headquarters in the region and also that have done several investment in the region in the several sector, from metallurgical sector to semiconductors to electromechanical components and electric vehicles. Next slide, please. Valle d'Aosta region, according to its special status, can also offer a wide legislative and administrative autonomy that gives even an efficient and an effective way of collaboration between the public sector and the private one. There are a lot of regional law that implements and allow new opportunity for private, in particular supporting and giving aids for research and development, for investment, for environmental protection, for energy efficiency, energy production, for training and employment of disadvantaged people, grants up to 9 million euro per company. Next, please. Just an overview of the hub that was engineering the hub that is one of the company mentioned in my slide before. It's belonged to the engineering group that is a multinational group I'm glad to work for. And like the overall group, engineering the hub have changed during last decades. Its DNA moving towards innovative services offered as a service thanks to cloud facilities. Engineering the hub have around 850 professional operators in the region, and where there is located the most important data center of the company. Next, please. Providing success stories in terms of research, I want to mention the 500 Genomi at VDA, that is a research aiming at creating a research center dedicated to personalized, preventive, and predictive medicine. And that will involve 30 people between research and technician, and 21 researcher grants for young research have already been established. The course consortium is led by the Istituto Italiano di Tecnologia and composed by other relevant entity like the local University of Valle d'Aosta. Engineering the Hub is one of their partners. Next, please. Just talking about the project Smart Vinery, this is another good example of project looking at improving the vineyard production. In particular here, the technology of sensor and LoRaWAN infrastructure have been put in place to collect data. Then this data have been transformed in useful information thanks to cloud service and machine learning techniques. So in order to implement a fully data-driven approach for development and prevent plant disease and also reducing pesticide use. So this is my last slide. Thanks again for the invitation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Di Bernardo. Now we go again to south of Italy, to Puglia region, and we have Mrs. Theresa Mulloy is waiting for us there. She's the Program Manager, International Business Promotion and Inward Investments for Puglia Sviluppo S.p.A. Mrs. Mulloy.
Yes, thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you to the World Manufacturing Forum for hosting this very interesting meeting, and especially to the Italian Ministry for Foreign Affairs and the Italian Trade Agency for inviting us along to briefly present what we think is a very interesting investment and business opportunity in our region. As has already been said, we're talking now about a region which is in the southeast of Italy. We saw some very interesting opportunities in central Italy and the northeast of Italy. Moving down to the south, we'd like to focus specifically on an investment opportunity at the Taranto-Grottaglie airport. As was already said, often when people think of Italy, and especially the south of Italy, they don't tend to think very much about the importance of high-tech and advanced business sectors such as aerospace. But in Apulia, aerospace is a growing business reality, and it's very competitive. Next slide, please. In the region, we have over 550 companies operating in aerospace. That's obviously a lot of small and medium-sized companies who work together with some of the multinational companies which have set up in the past few years in the region, completing the supply chain and operating in highly specialized areas such as the production, the design and production of microsatellites, research and design center for additive repairs by GE Avio, which has been set up in the region with the Polytechnic University, And obviously, there's an important presence of the Leonardo Group, with which works on the 787 project with Boeing, and gives a lot of work and opportunities to a lot of our small and medium-sized companies, which over the past few years have become more and more specialised in working with composite materials. And as I said, there's over 550 companies employing almost 8,000 people at the moment in the region. Next slide, please. What kind of business environment do companies find when they come to Apulia as far as aerospace is concerned? We believe it's a very supportive business environment. There are two aerospace clusters operating in the region, one focused on technological aspects of aerospace development, and the other one on manufacturing. Both work a lot with local companies as far as research and training is concerned. There's various national and international research centres operating in the region with various specialisations in new materials, in nanotech, and in engineering, obviously. And this builds into the universities, which provide a lot of support to the companies. As we said, GA Avio has a huge manufacturing plant in the region, and they operate with the Polytechnic University of Bari on research and developing their new generation of engines for aircraft, for lighter aircraft. And we have two universities which have specific graduate courses in aerospace engineering, and they produce annually about over 1,000 graduates in mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, and electric engineering. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of companies are now looking at our region, because they know that they can come to us and they can find the right type of support, the right kind of staff to make sure that they're competitive. Next slide, please. Moving quickly along to what we think is, as I said at the beginning, an interesting and even an exciting business opportunity in the region. It's based, or it has to do with what is currently a strategic infrastructure. It's an airport near to the big port of Taranto in the centre of Apulia. The airport is currently an industrial airport and handles all of the cargo for Leonardo. But in just a few years ago, the airport was designated by the Italian government and the Italian Civil Aviation Authority as a test bed for unmanned aircraft, so basically drones. And we've been working with their local airport authorities and with local companies and the technological cluster to bring in new companies who are interested in developing new technology, which is not just about aerospace, it's also about ICT, about aircraft control and traffic management, and it's also about handling data, base data. So we're of interest already because the airport has been authorised to carry out experiments or test flights for drones of various sizes. And more recently, the airport has also been designated as Italy's first spaceport. Next slide, please. The spaceport should also open up new opportunities for companies who are interested in investing in or building into that area of business. We expect the airport to become a base for suborbital flights, which will have to do mainly with research into space data again, and for various lines of activity. But who knows how far into the future it will also be a base for space tourism, And we've already had a lot of interest from Virgin Galactic on this aspect, and they've signed an agreement with one of our companies to develop a new type of aircraft for suborbital flights.
Mulloy, can you
Next
hear
slide,
me?
please.
Can you hear me, Mrs. Mulloy?
There are basically three people who are working together on this project and who can help investors find the right type of contacts, find the right type of information, the right type of opportunities if they're interested in investing in this line of business. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? I will ask you to conclude, please, because we are very strict on the timetable. Thank you.
Yes.
Would you like to conclude, please? We don't have time anymore. Can you hear me?
I can hear.
I think we have some technical problem. Can you hear me? Mrs. Mulloy, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I finished. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mulloy. Thank you.
Yes.
Now we move to Autonomous Province of Bolzano after Mrs. Mulloy, who explained us opportunity of aerospace industry. Let's move to automotive industry in Autonomous Province of Bolzano. We have Johannes Brunner. He will speak about Neue Tech Park. He's head of unit automobile. Please, welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you to the Italian Trade Organization for the invitation to this event. I would like to take you to a very special place. You see on this background image the wonderful Neue Tech Park. It was once the biggest aluminum factory in Italy. With a huge production in the 60s, and then it was closed and it was transformed in a technology park. It is located in the very north of Italy, in Bolzano. It's on the A22 highway, taking you to Austria and Germany, and it's quite strategic. Allows you to be in 3 hours in Milano, in Venice, or in Munich. So 3 hours to the Gondoliere and to the Oktoberfest. This Neue Tech Park is driven by 700 entrepreneurs, startups, developers, and researchers, which were concentrated in this place to do innovation, focusing in 5 areas. The first is Alpine, everything related to the mountains. So we have mountains in our DNA. The second one is Green Tech. We are famous for a lot of renewable energies and energy efficient buildings. Then there is the automotive industry with a lot of hidden champions supplying to almost any OEM worldwide. There's the food industry and the digital industry. And I would like to offer you some investment opportunities in Neue startups, which I will present in a minute, to investments in R&D projects, and in our talents, and to become part of our ecosystems. Next slide, please. So our ecosystem, automotive automation, is composed of 150 companies of along the value chains. Some of the most famous and interesting are company Alupress, aluminum casts, Iveco, DVD, defense vehicles, microtech, wood quality measurements, and GKN sinter metals, which some activities interesting in hydrogen storage, intercable, electromobility. So just to mention a few examples. Then in the HiTech Park, we have around 30 startups. Most promising one are one in the digital agriculture, in the virtual product development sectors, a company developing electric vehicles, or a company which does out-of-home advertisement on the road. We have around 40 R&D laboratories, 40 R&D teams from established companies, about 30 laboratories from our University of Bolzano, from ORIAC Research, and from the Fraunhofer Institute, which is the first one in Italy connected to the big international network. And we do a lot of international events like the International Forum Mechatronics 2018, where we try to connect technologies, companies, and regions. Next slide, please. So what are the locational advantages? We are number one in Italy for the highest gross domestic product per capita and under the 20th best regions in EU. The European, the Eurostat Regional Yearbook says that the region with the highest GDP per capita are typically capital regions. Apart from them, there are 3 regions ahead in these parameters, and South Tyrol is one of them. So we try to connect Italian design and German engineering. We have a lot of hidden champions, intercultural competences, and language skills, and we have very special people with a never give up mentality and a high quality of life. You can have the Dolomites, and you can have also one of the warmest regions and the warmest lakes in North Italy. Next slide, please. So if you're curious now, then I can recommend you to further publications of us. The first one is a publication. It's called the Sectoral Overview Automotive Automation 2020, where you can profiles of all kind of our players, of our ecosystems. And then we have the publication which is about our region and about the alpine DNA of South Tyrol. And with this, I'm at the end of my presentation, and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Brunner. Now we go to another autonomous region, which is Trento. In Trento, there is Mr. Raffaele Farella for us, and he is the Director for International Affairs and Economic Relations Unit of Trento region. Mr. Farella.
Thank you. Very good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to introduce you to Trentino, a small regional place in northeast of Italy, just really close to South Tyrol, which Johannes before introduced you, in the heart of Alps and Dolomites, where a land of extraordinary beauty, more than 5 million of tourists every year, with the highest quality of life and tourism business and investment conditions in place. And this territory also can boost a special legislative, financial, and administrative autonomy, which allowed us to invest important in knowledge, research, and innovation. Thanks to these big efforts, now Trentino is internationally recognized for the high quality of its system of research, consisting of medium public and private center, but also a university which is an excellence, is ranked at the first place for quality of research in Italy. In Trentino, the mechatronics, please next, and next, next. The mechatronics supply chain employs more than 800 companies with more than 10,000 employees across the region, where the province has set up a dedicated technological center, which is named Mechatronic Hub, is placed in Roberto. It's a physical place of more than 70,000 square meters, where the partnership among business, research, innovation, and training come to fruition. The hub is supported by the so-called PROM facility, which is a cutting-edge technology infrastructure that combines traditional mechanics with the most advanced and sophisticated physical and virtual prototyping, testing, and pre-qualification system. The PROM facility laboratory innovative machinery, one of the biggest in Europe for the additive manufacturing, such as for tests such as hybrid manufacturing, reverse engineering, and X-ray tomography. And this is important facility is now highly valorized also for exploring the new frontiers of life science and medicine, a sector in which Trentino is investing and growing considerably. Next, please. MedTech is the heart of Trentino investment strategy towards well-being and quality of life through non-imaging diagnostics with data-driven technologies and personalized and proactive medicine methodologies. As you know, investing in MedTech means investing in a wide range of products and solutions for the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of disease and rehabilitation. These include medical devices, surgical instruments, robotic surgery, custom medicine, and so on. In the next slide, you can see, next please, how the biotech and medtech supply chain in Trentino is articulated from basic research to product development and market access. And in the supply chain, you can see important international multinational which installed their research and development center for working in our territory. Next, please, all the business activity, research and company startup finds a dedicated space in Trentino. Progetto Manifattura is one of the largest incubators in Europe, in the green tech economy sector, a center of industrial innovation. And in the project Manifattura, now you can look B-Factory. B-Factory is the new amazing plant that integrates and completes Progetto Manifattura, transforming an historical tobacco factory in Roberto into a center of industrial innovation. It's a really beautiful and advanced architectural project conceived by Kengo Kuma, the world icon of sustainable architecture that planned the project. 2 months ago, this equipped area of over than 25,000 square meters was inaugurated and welcomed by the first settlements. Now we are waiting for you and welcome the new investment and for allowing you to be part of this important project and benefit from all the services, incentives, and personalized supports that our economy could offer to the international investors. Thank you so much and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raffaella Farella from Autonomous Region Trento.